large amount of U.S. currency?
No.
Okay.
I got $20.
Okay. Can I search a vehicle?
Why are we doing this? I don't want you to search the vehicle.
Okay.
Welcome back to Advocacy Alchemy with Professor Ross. Today we have a good one, guys. A Louisiana state trooper pulls over a man driving a rental SUV traveling from Texas. The story, he's a military vet turned security specialist on his way back from a meeting in Sugar Land, Texas. But something about the way he talks, or rather, how much he talks, triggers the trooper's suspicion. No drugs in plain sight, no immediate red flags, but with just a few questions, a K9 unit, and a hunch, the trooper uncovers 25 kilos of cocaine and a firearm hidden in the vehicle. This case is from February 13th, 2020. I know it's an old one, but you might not have seen this before. This is from Calcasieu Parish, and it gives us a chance to dissect interstate drug interdiction, consent to search, and how officer intuition plays into real legal work. So with that, let's dive in.
D75, Region 2. Hudson eastbound at the 23. Georgia. Charlie Lima Victor 8990. Charlie Lima Victor 8990. We on a black Toyota Land Cruiser. Driver, step out for me. Can you step out for me? Step back here by my car. Get out the roadway. Step back here. Look, yeah, right here's good. Trooper McKee State Police. Look, the reason I stopped you, I don't know if you was paying attention to that cop, man. He swerved, or if you, I didn't know if you were drinking or sleepy. You kind of drifted way over in the other lane.
Into that lane?
No, you were in the middle, drifted to the right. Yeah, just back there. I just make sure you're not impaired, sleepy, wasn't playing on the ball or nothing like that.
No.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you what happens.
Okay.
It has the adaptive cruise control.
Oh, okay.
So I have it set to where it's a certain amount of feet in front of me, and the little car, when the truck got over, the little car got in front of me, and it automatically
it just kind of
brakes.
I got you. Okay, I got you. That's fine. I just made sure it wasn't nothing else.
No.
You got your ID on you?
Yeah,
let's walk
right
over here.
there.
Okay. This your car?
No, sir.
It says a rental?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the rental paperwork?
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
You want to go on the other side?
Yeah, let's walk around and grab it. Man, you look like you've been on the road. All them snacks.
Yeah, I have a security business. I have a point. I'm giving you my whole one.
Yeah, I don't need the whole thing. Do you have like a rental agreement? This is like the insurance.
Maybe, no, I have the...
When you rented a car, they didn't give you no paperwork?
Yeah, here it is. I got it.
Okay.
No, because I usually do it on my app.
I got you. So what were you saying about security business?
I have a client down there that we do.
Where's down there?
Texas.
We're at in Texas.
Right outside of Houston. Sugarland.
Sugarland?
You know where that's at?
Oh, okay. When did you go over there?
What's today? Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Monday.
You went over there on Monday? Okay.
Texas, Mike, Juliet, November, 1345, JN 1345.
How long you had your security business?
2016.
2016?
Yeah.
I got you. So you went over there on Monday to Sugarland, you said?
Yeah, sure.
So you had a little job or something?
We still talking, negotiating.
Negotiating.
I want to see what you want me to do.
But do you have any guns in the vehicle?
No, not today.
Okay.
This is just the
Me?
talking stage.
Okay. How'd you get into security business?
When I got out of the military.
Okay. What branch of the military are you in?
United States Army.
Okay. Appreciate your service. How long you was in the military?
4 years.
Oh, okay. All right, Ms. Daniel, let's step over here by my car. Look, I'm gonna go check your license, make sure everything's good.
That's fine.
And
Can I smoke?
you need it.
A cigarette?
Yeah, if you want to.
I don't smoke in the car.
I got you.
And this
Okay,
is
if you don't mind, you can
smoke
smoke real quick when I get back. As long as you don't mind putting it out when I come back.
Matter of
You
fact,
got them on you? Or are they in the car?
nah, they're in the car.
Okay, just hang tight.
Yeah,
How's it going, man?
You alright?
Pretty good.
You gonna carry this one out or?
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see.
I hate that for you.
What's the name of your security company, man?
all are kept.
All are kept. Oh, okay. And you went to Sugar Land and you had a meeting with a client?
That's
and
it.
now you going back? And you live where at in Georgia?
What's that?
Where you live at in Georgia?
Conyers.
That's close to Atlanta or?
It's a suburb of Atlanta. You
Suburb?
got Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
This is 285.
Yeah,
Decatur, Lithonia,
I got you.
Stone Mountain, Conyers.
And did you go anywhere else besides Sugar Land or just to Sugar Land?
Just Sugar Land.
Just to Sugar Land and back? I got you. All right. And when did you rent the car?
That would be Monday.
On Monday when you left?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you
Or
don't
Sunday night.
Okay, you the only one been driving the car?
Yeah,
That's in the
I'm
vehicle?
the one driving the car.
Okay. So you be responsible for everything in the car?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything illegal in that vehicle?
You know,
No large amount of marijuana,
I don't smoke.
cocaine. I'm not saying you smoke any
No.
large amount of cocaine,
No large amount of money.
methamphetamine,
Nothing.
no large amount of prescription medication.
No.
Okay. No large amount of U.S. currency.
No.
Okay.
I got $20.
Okay. Can I search a vehicle?
Why are we doing this? I don't want you to search the vehicle.
Okay. So you don't want me to search?
I don't want you to search the vehicle.
Okay. All right. Just hang tight for me. Hey, you don't have no weapons, right? I'm just gonna pat you down. Just put your hands on the hood. Okay, you can relax. All right. Well, look, since you don't want me to search, what I'm gonna do, I got a K9 officer. He's gonna show up, do his thing with his dog, and then we'll go from there. All right?
Is there any reason we're going through all this? Because
Yeah, I don't believe your story, man. I think you went somewhere else.
where do you think I went?
Not Sugar Land. Or you might have went there, but I think you went somewhere else.
Like where?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm telling you where I
Okay.
went.
All right. Just hang tight. How many clients you got?
3.
3?
Yes.
And that sustains your business? Where they're all in
One's in
Houston?
Pennsylvania. We're
Okay.
trying to get this one here in Texas,
Oh, okay.
and I have 2 in Atlanta.
I got you.
It's a record label, so if the artist goes out, we'll go with
That's the one in Houston you just went
No.
and met? Oh. Who'd you just go meet in Houston?
This is I don't even know,
You
some
don't even-
guy that wants his house. He's an internet guy.
Mhm.
He wants protection for him and his wife.
He just wants somebody at the house? How many people you got work for you?
Right now, it's just me and my business partner,
Just 2?
and we'll hire out.
Okay, so you hire out, so you don't actually go do the work, you hire it out?
Not if I don't have to.
I got you.
It's cheaper to get an off-duty officer
I got you.
than it is for me to keep flying.
So you
back and
just
forth.
get off-duty officers, you just get
will.
whatever. Oh, okay. That's what you normally do?
It depends on how long it's for and
Okay.
what they want done.
I got you.
Like for this guy here, he wants somebody with his wife and him at all times.
So 24/7. And what's your rate?
That depends.
I'm just curious. What is
That depends on who it is and what it is.
who it is and what it is? And how much money
we
they
do
got?
we do a risk
Oh,
assessment.
risk assessment of the job? I got you.
Because you're protecting Drake versus some little
Yeah,
small
if I'm protecting, where you say we at Soulful?
Yeah, so
All right, if I'm protecting the mayor of Soulful, Louisiana, versus the mayor of New Orleans, Louisiana, it'll be 2 different prices.
I got you.
Ain't nobody gonna try and knock off this so far.
Now I don't think you got worried about
No,
it.
not him. New Orleans may ever get us in trouble over here.
Yeah, it's just in.
Please don't let the dog eat my chicken.
Nah, he ain't gonna go in the car.
You got chicken? I'm hungry. Let's go get some
You
food, man.
don't want that chicken.
Where you got that chicken from?
Churches.
Oh, Churches.
Man, church. We just got a KFC over here, man. You believe that?
Y'all just getting the KFC?
We used to have one back in the day. When they went out of business, they brought it back.
I just watch yourself. There's a dog. Just stand right here. You'll be good. This dude said he does security work. He's been meeting with a client for 2 days in Sugar Land, Texas.
Is it a rental?
Yeah, it's a rental.
Is this the one you were talking about?
Yep.
I never saw it. I saw that Kentucky go by.
Hey, look, man, the dog alerted to odor narcotics on the vehicle. He alerted on the vehicle, okay? So we're going to search the vehicle. All right? So just hang tight, all right?
Look at my phone.
Nah, just hang tight. Ooh, appreciate it, man. Yeah, till 5.
All right, I'll be back.
All right.
Start back here, folks.
When I told him it alerted, he forget.
The trooper will mute the body cam for the rest of the video, but according to court documents, the trooper used license plate readers to determine that the vehicle Trevor was driving was not in Sugar Land, Texas, but near the Mexico border. They will search the vehicle and find 25 kilos of cocaine and a firearm. Trevor Daniel Jr. was sentenced to 150 months in federal prison for possession with the intent to distribute cocaine.
Today's case comes from Louisiana. Now, this is one of the border towns or border parishes. The interesting thing is that the criminal case against our defendant was taken to federal court. So we're looking at federal laws today. First, we have possession with the intent to distribute cocaine. This is found at 21 U.S.C., that means United States Code, Section 841, Section A1. This statute makes it unlawful for any person to knowingly or intentionally manufacture, distribute, or possess with the intent to distribute a controlled substance. Cocaine is a Schedule II controlled substance federally. When the quantity is 5 kilograms or more, the penalty falls under subsection B1A. The penalty is a mandatory 10-year minimum, all the way up to life in prison. And that all depends on if the defendant has a prior drug felony on his record. If so, then the minimum goes from 10 years to 20 years minimum in federal prison. Remember, in federal prison, you have to do at least 75% of that time before you're eligible for any sort of parole. Here, Trevor Daniel Jr. was found with 25 kilos of cocaine. That's well above that 5 kilo minimum. He pled guilty and was sentenced to 120 months, which is 10 years in federal prison. And that was the mandatory minimum. So that's the least he can get. This guy was 50 years old, so he'll be 60 if he goes flat. He'll be 57 and a half before he's eligible to come out on parole. All right, let's move to our next charge. Possession of a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime. This is found at 18 U.S.C. Section 924, Section C1A. This law prohibits possessing a firearm during and in relation to or in furtherance of any drug trafficking crime. Now, this penalty is a minimum of 5 years on this one, and it has to run consecutive to any other sentence. If the firearm is brandished, the minimum is 7 years. Brandish means if you show it, display it in a manner that's going to put somebody in fear that you're about to use that gun. Brandish a gun. All right, if it's discharged, if it's shot, it rises to 10 years minimum. All right, so a firearm was discovered along with the cocaine. This could have led to additional charges under this section, though the sentencing documents didn't point to it being used or considered under the plea. All right, finally, we have a Fourth Amendment search and seizure. This is found in the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution. All right, it protects individuals against unreasonable searches and seizures by the government without probable cause. All right, one of the exceptions is the automobile exception, which allows warrantless searches of vehicles if probable cause exists. All right, here the trooper requested consent, which was denied. Then he brought the K9 dog. He told the defendant that the dog alerted, but we didn't see on the body cam footage that we saw. Now, that K9 unit, the handler probably was also wearing his own body cam, and that would be a part of his cam showing where the dog alerted. And I've talked about this before. Every handler has a unique way of dealing with their own dog. So alerting is not the same for every dog. It's not always going to be the dog sitting down right when he smells drugs. Sometimes the dog puts his paws on that area. Sometimes the dog does different things. But it's something that the dog does every time that he alerts. All right, so understand that with a K9 alert, all right, that does create probable cause, allowing for a legal search without a warrant. All right, all these laws combine to create a strong federal case leading to conviction and sentencing. All right, and we call it a strong case because look, the man, Mr. Daniel, took a plea, so it had to be a strong case. All right, let's move on to another section here. I want to talk about the technology that's used during this traffic stop. Okay, so during this traffic stop, when Trevor said he was in Sugar Land, Texas, the license plate reader said otherwise. All right, this case isn't just hinged on what was said by Mr. Daniel, but also what's seen by the machines that are on the road. All right, so we're going to talk about the automated license plate reader system. All right, what it does things like capturing license plate data all in real time. It verifies someone's travel routes across jurisdictions. It identifies the make, model, color, and year, and whether it was day or night when that person crossed that reader's checkpoint. Now, in this case, the automated license plate reader data proved that the vehicle wasn't in Sugar Land, Texas. It was closer to the Mexico border. Now, let's be clear. Technology doesn't forget. While people may twist the facts and stumble under pressure, these automated license plate readers, they just tell cold, hard facts. The major takeaway is your car is talking, even when you aren't. Let's go through the 6 levels of legal evidence, each representing a different degree of certainty used in courtrooms across the country. These standards determine what law enforcement can do and what prosecutors must prove at each stage of a case. Starting at the lowest, we have number 1, mere suspicion. Now, this is just a gut feeling, your intuition, or a hunch that doesn't have any supporting specific facts to support it. Now, this is not enough to stop or detain anyone. A good example is a trooper sensing that Trevor's story doesn't feel right. Too much talking, vague details, but that alone isn't enough to take action. Now, if we move up one more, we go to reasonable suspicion. Now, this is when the police have specific, articulable beliefs based on facts that a person is involved in criminal activity. Now, this does allow officers to briefly detain and investigate. Now, the key term there is brief. Supreme Court has said anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes you can hold somebody, and that includes waiting on the dog to get there. A good example is the conflicting story, the nervousness, and the cross-country route justify the police's decision to call in the K9 unit. All right, number 3, probable cause. Facts and circumstances that would lead a reasonable person to believe that a crime has been committed and the suspect is involved. This is the threshold for searches, arrests, and charging someone with a crime. A good example is the K9 alerts. This gave the trooper the legal authority to search the vehicle without a warrant. And you all know what happened once they searched the vehicle. They found 25 kilos. All right, so with that, let's move up one more. Preponderance of the evidence. Now, this is the standard that's used in civil cases. Remember, civil cases are where two or more people are suing each other for money, mostly. It means that it's more likely than not that the claim is true. That person who's saying their claim is true needs to have at least 51% in their favor from all the evidence in order to prove their point. A good example of this one is if a civil forfeiture proceeding to seize the vehicle or any cash that the man has, the discovery of the 25 kilos would easily satisfy the threshold. Now with civil forfeitures, that's when anything else that's not directly contraband that's used in the furtherance of the crime, then the government can ask the judge about that property. And if it's not claimed, then the state can receive that property, make it their own, and use it in their further investigations with other people. All right, number 5, clear and convincing evidence. Now, this is a higher standard requiring a firm belief or conviction in the truth of the allegations. All right, this is also used in civil cases, but it's also used in criminal cases sometimes, depending on what we're trying to do. All right, this is often seen in cases with significant rights, such as terminating parental rights or terminating employment. A good example is the combination of the travel records, the automated license plate reader data, and Trevor's inconsistent answers could support a judge's firm belief that he was trafficking drugs. All right, now you'll see these in criminal context whenever the government is trying to get an extended incarceration period, or when the defense is trying to introduce a novel defense. Say, for instance, if someone was shot and you're trying to say self-defense, or this is not going to work here, but when a person gets caught with drugs, but they say, but I have a prescription, and then they produce a prescription, then the person, potentially a doctor, is brought in, or some note is brought in. You have to produce some more information with it. All right, moving on to the highest standard, beyond a reasonable doubt. All right, now this is used in every criminal case. This means that there is no other reasonable alternative besides the defendant being guilty of the charges brought. Here, it's important to understand that in February 2023, Mr. Daniel pled guilty in federal court after prosecutors gathered strong evidence. And here's what it was. They had the 25 kilos, they had the firearm, they had GPS records, and they had vehicle tracking. This all meets this higher standard. Understand that he was sentenced to 120 months, which is 10 years in federal prison, followed by 5 years supervised release. Understanding these levels helps you interpret every police interaction and each court case, from a hunch to conviction. The law requires more than just suspicion. It requires proof that's measured and scaled against the stakes. Okay, now let's assume that you're sitting on this jury. Now we understand that he pled out, but if he didn't plead and he went to federal jury trial, let's ask a few questions. First, would you believe Trevor's security business story? Did it make sense to you? Him having maybe 3 or 4 clients, one in Pennsylvania, one potentially in Houston, Texas, 1 or 2 back in Georgia. Does the quantity alone found in his car tell you this wasn't a mistake? All right, what about the man's body language? Did the delay in answering any questions or the lengthy explanations or the refusal to consent, did any of those bother you if you were sitting on this jury? What kind of person rents a car, drives across multiple states, and doesn't remember where they were? And how does that line up with the 25 kilos in the trunk? All right, remember to let me know in the comments whether you think this man, Mr. Trevor Daniel, was guilty or not guilty. And we already know he took a plea, so I want you to do it based on the facts, what you heard, and tell me. Now, there is a very good point here about intuition. We always talk about intuition, a person's gut feeling, and how jurors, the cops, and the judge all have to use intuition when dealing with any of the facts that are received. Here, the trooper said, "I just don't believe your story, man." And the reason he said that is because he went in, he got him that computer inside the car. The screen was blurred by the original uploader. And you see everybody always blur that screen because that screen has access to these license plate readers, okay? Certain police officers are using this system much more than others, okay? If you're drug police, that's gonna be your bread and butter. You're always on that system, checking where cars have come from, how long ago they left those places. And that's a part of your job in trying to find people who are trafficking contraband. All right, so whether you're a lawyer, an officer, or a juror, Your intuition can alert you when the facts don't match the energy. Remember, that's just the starting point. Evidence must follow. This case teaches us 3 major lessons. First, verbal storytelling can be a liability, especially when it conflicts with the hard data. Words alone are not persuasive when they're vague, overly rehearsed, or contradict the technology and physical evidence. Second, K9 units and license plate readers are powerful tools in modern interdiction. These tools, combined with sharp officers with good instincts and experience, help uncover criminal activity hidden beneath otherwise normal traffic offenses. And finally, third, refusing a search isn't illegal, but it may lead to further scrutiny, especially when paired with inconsistent behavior or suspicious travel details. It's a right, but in some cases, it changes the dynamic of the encounter. This case also highlights the power of cross-jurisdictional coordination in technology. Without license plate readers, Trevor's vague itinerary might have gone unchecked, but the convergence of human intuition, K9 detection, and digital verification made the difference between a warning and a conviction. So, trust your instincts, but verify with facts. It's kind of like Ronald Reagan's old thing, trust but verify. Whether you're traveling across state lines or defending a client in court, remember, details matter, the truth travels, and the facts always catch up. So, if you learned something today from this breakdown, like, comment, and subscribe. What was your verdict on this one? 25 kilos in the trunk, guilty or not guilty? Remember, this is Advocacy Alchemy, and I am Professor Ross. Everyone have a great Monday. I know it's Monday again. Be safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.